Hi everybody, welcome to the shack for this video for the 38th weekend since lockdown was imposed in the UK originally back in March, end of March. So today's been a pretty good day. A lot of you I'm sure will have seen my previous video regarding my having passed the UK amateur radio full license exam this morning. Obviously I was really happy to do that. Much more difficult than the intermediate license exam. A lot more work, a lot more studying, and you know, I feel very happy here facing a weekend where I haven't got to do any studying. I started studying for that exam in the summer. I can remember being sat out in the garden in the bright sunshine, and now it's mid-December and I finally passed, and it means that one thing I won't be doing this weekend is having my nose in that book. So that feels great. I recorded that video twice actually because it went wrong, but I don't know if I remember to thank the people at Harwell for their help and support. What was interesting actually was that although I was kind of reasonably confident I would pass, you know, but at the same time worried that maybe if the questions didn't completely suit, you know, it was possible that I could fail. It's a 2-hour exam, I think, and I finished it in an hour and 10 minutes, and I got the mark that I got, which was 47 out of 58. I think was the highest that the invigilator had recorded since they started the remote invigilation, and she's invigilated a lot of exams, so that was really nice to get the highest mark. There was another guy who was pretty close, got, I think she said 43 or 44, but to get the highest mark, considering how concerned I was about it, it felt like a great result for me, for sure. Put all the books away. Well, actually, I've done worse. I've sent the book, the manual, to another Harwell club member who's going to start studying for it because he ordered it online. It hadn't arrived after 2 weeks, so he's got my version, which will save him the cost of buying yellow highlighters because mine's covered in the stuff. And I wish him luck in taking the exam himself. So you know, great to push that over the line. And so, as I said, one of the things I won't be doing this weekend is studying. What you're looking at there is a 45 watt HF power amplifier designed for the Yaesu FT817 and various other transceivers. And I bought it because I bought the Yaesu FT817 a few months ago, and I got it. There you go. I haven't used it in quite a long time actually. I did a bit of DXing on it actually. It's really, really sensitive receiver on that radio. Obviously I bought it for my portable station, and I did use it, but obviously with 5 watts you're really struggling. You know, when we have our skeds on a Friday night on 80 meters, and you're using 5 watts when the continentals are starting to sort of boom in, you know, you basically get lost. And what I've discovered using the FT991 is that but it makes a big difference being able to go to 15 or 20 watts. So I've been using the FT991, which is a 100 watt transceiver, with my little compact MFJ matching unit I bought a few weeks ago. I'm running it all on a Maplin 7.2 amp hour lead acid battery. It's a little battery, little kind of like leisure battery, whatever they call it. And as long as I keep the power at 20 watts, that whole setup, the current drain on the battery is such that it will go for an entire sked, no problem. I've used it at higher powers. I've used it at 40 watts actually, and it quite quickly the battery capacity is such that eventually, well, quite quickly you end up drawing too much current and the radio shuts down. So 20 watts is about the limit, but 20 watts is doable with my portable station. And what I'm hoping is that this little amplifier, which is, I mean, the Yaesu itself is tiny, the amplifier is even smaller. With that on the back of the Yaesu running at 20 watts is going to be even more efficient, energy efficient than the FT991, which is a 100 watt transceiver with a touchscreen LCD display and blah blah blah, all the bells and whistles. So I ordered it from China from eBay, and it didn't make it past Chinese customs. It got sent back. Ordered it again So they sent another unit, same thing happened. So cancelled that order and ordered the identical unit from a seller in Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong is obviously still China, but figured that might make a difference, and it seems to have done. Got a message a few days ago saying that it had passed customs. Then got another message saying it had left the country, its country of origin, and now another message saying it's with the Royal Mail. So I was kind of hoping it would arrive today, but it hasn't. Maybe it'll arrive tomorrow, which would be great news. And then for this weekend, I'll definitely be setting that up with the 817 and testing my that portable arrangement, and that will become my portable station. When my aim is to basically fit it all into one of my aluminium flight cases. So next time I travel, not saying on a business trip necessarily, but if we ever get to go on holiday again, that setup will be coming with me. So that's one thing that I'm definitely planning to do. The other thing that I've been doing is, as you know, for the past sort of few days, is I've been testing my Wellbrook loops. So I've been comparing them, indoor and outdoor reception. In fact, you can see the indoor loop is just over there, legged up against the curtains. It's been interesting and quite satisfying actually to be able to sort of demonstrate practically that, you know, I'm lucky. I've got quite a big garden, you know, enough space to put up a G5RV, a quarter wave end-fed wire for top band. Other people aren't so fortunate. You know, there are lots of radio aficionados who either have small gardens or don't have a garden. And I've been able to demonstrate that with a Wellbrook loop and a decent receiver, you can copy transatlantic medium wave DX with a loop inside your home. So, and in particular, I've copied decent signals from VOCM in Newfoundland on 590 kilohertz, Bloomberg Radio New York on 1130 kilohertz, and Grenada on 1400 kilohertz. And with the indoor loop, those stations can be copied quite well. You know, very good modulation, discernible audio. So it just goes to show that it can be done. You know, you can still enjoy DXing at home with a magnetic loop. It would be impossible with any other type of antenna. I've copied medium wave DX with an induction loop, which is a passive loop that's tuned to a particular frequency. But I think that if you're looking at DXing on a regular basis from home with an internal antenna, indoor antenna, an active magnetic loop has to be the way to go. So that's been very satisfying because you know, it's just good to know that. Well, in my old QTH, the garden was tiny. There wasn't much room for a wire anyway. So and obviously, you know, I've also managed to demonstrate that you get better, obviously, reception with the antenna outdoors, but you know, it's not like an order of magnitude better because obviously, you know, these magnetic loops are directional and they, you know, reject the electric field, you know, centered around, you know, noise, etc. So no doubt a worthy addition to any shack where space is at a premium, particularly outdoors. So I'm going to carry on doing that this weekend. I'm going to try a few more shortwave transmissions. I've done that comparison with some tropical band stations. I can remember doing the comparison with Radio Club de Paris on 4885 kilohertz, and that brings me on to the next thing actually. I was using the SDR Play RSPDX, but I've got the loops connected to the ELAD FTM Duo at the moment, that little baby. And I've been monitoring 15190 kilohertz. Now that's Radio Inconfidencia from in Brazil, and a station that I've in the past copied many times. And several weeks ago, and I think I've already mentioned this, that one of my subscribers wrote to me and told me that Radio Inconfidencia is back on the air. And ever since he told me that, I've been trying to copy their signal unsuccessfully. Now, the past particularly the past couple of weeks, I've not done that much radio work because I've been studying for my exam. But and I know that this station, well, I copy this station better in the summer from the UK. I've heard it obviously when I've been in South America, sort of 9 p.m. Before the band closes, and you know, the chances of copying it at this time of year, I don't even know what they are, but there's this station that I want to copy again, but there's also another station. There's Radio Diffusora Roraima on 4875 kilohertz, which over the years has been one of the easiest stations, sort of regional low power stations in South America to copy. Not quite as easy as Radio Club de Para, but you know, obviously it sits next to that station on the radio spectrum, or it did, and I've not seen their signal, not even a carrier, for weeks now. And what's worrying me is that I get sort of DX newsletter emailed to me every month by is it Hans Eriksson or Christian Eriksson? I can't remember. I should remember, but the bottom line is that I get that newsletter every month, and they compile a log of stations heard, and nothing has been heard on 4875 kilohertz for quite a long time, which makes me wonder whether they've gone off air. And if anyone with local knowledge has got any news on that, I would be interested to know, because it would be a shame if another station had left the airways. Right, bear with me 1 second while I get some more water. I've just started having a coffee fit. If you, it's interesting, if you look back through an old copy of the WRTH, you know, go back 10 years even, just 10 years, and you look at what was on the tropical bands on air, even 10 years ago, today, you know, the bands, you know, they just look empty in comparison. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot to listen to on shortwave, but go back 20 years and it was as if there were literally hundreds of stations just in Brazil, regional stations all over the place that aren't there anymore, which is a real shame. So that's one thing. So the other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing with this beast. So this is the Yaesu FT990, circa 1992, I think. So it's basically 28 years old, there or thereabouts. Audio on this radio is amazing.
Zebra number 5, Echo Bravo Lima, calling CQDX, India Zulu 5, Echo Bravo Lima, calling CQ David X-ray, India Zulu 5, Echo Bravo Lima. CQ Lompard DX, India Zulu 5, Echo Bravo Lima, calling CQ West Coast Lompard QRZ. Zulu 5, Echo Bravo Lima, West Coast Lompard. CQ West Coast Lompard, India Zulu 5, Echo Bravo Lima, West Coast.
I set this radio up on top band. No, sorry, on 80 meters before I started this video. To give you an example of the audio, and when I came to do it, when I came to use the radio, the band had literally died. So I've rematched it on 40 meters to give you an idea of the audio. I think 30 years ago, this was like a top-notch transceiver. I don't know whether it was Yaesu's top model, but no doubt it was up there. And we acquired it from a silent key sale with an 847. So something else that I'll be doing this weekend is having a play around with this radio. I did work an Italian station on it a few days ago, last weekend. And what I found most satisfying was the quality of the audio. It seems to have very low internal noise. And every time I come to use it, the band dies. So I don't actually know very much about this radio, but you guys will know that just having a new radio to play with can be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna have a go with that. I might use this radio on the Sked later. Anyway, that's about it for my update. As I'm just about in the middle of a coughing fit, it's a good time to wrap it up. All of you keep safe, and thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your friendship. Today feels a bit like a monumentous day, really, because I've been working towards finishing my studying and getting a full license for quite a long time. So that feels great. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. Keep safe. 7-3.